8 Features of the Greatest Creator. Xiefeng. 5. The greatest creator is impartial. Since the greatest creator is unique, exclusive, amorphous, and neutral, it must also be impartial. If a court were controlled by a good judge, then every criminal would be punished, but if it were controlled by a bad one, many innocents would suffer. If it were controlled by proletariats, capitalists would have a hard time, and vice versa. If it were controlled by a god or Buddha, evil would be constrained, and so on. The neutral, unaffiliated, and non-party is the least partial. Sunshine is impartial because it casts itself on all people. The earth's air is breathed by both good and bad people. Water, which is vital for life, is abundant at a very affordable price to everyone. So the greatest creator is fair and impartial. If the greatest creator were biased and did not allocate the sunshine, air, and water this way, some people would control them just as they occupy the land and mines. How could the rest of us survive? The greatest creator is also impartial because everyone dies. If the privileged could live for thousands of years or even for eternity, the poor would be hopeless. Thus, any thought or practice which hopes to give immortality to a certain fraction of the people is in conflict with the impartiality of the greatest creator and can never be realized. The human beings have tried to eliminate the diseases, such as cholera, typhoid, smallpox, plague and cancers, etc. It is really a naughty behavior causing trouble for the greatest creator. For each disease eliminated, the greatest creator has to generate a new disease to take its place, such as HIV/AIDS, SARS, special air molecules disease, etc. We will have to see who is more powerful, man or the greatest creator. The reason is that the earth cannot sustain so many people if the greatest creator does not generate new diseases which kill some people. If all the people on the earth keep living forever, do we still have enough space to live? It is the same case with a pretty garden. If all the visitors stay inside and do not leave, how can the other visitors come in and enjoy? Is it fair for the latecomers if they are kept out? Some people are always hoping that the good people can get more than the evil people, and that the greatest creator should send the evil people to the hell. If the greatest creator fails to do so, it would be unfair. Such naive idea is simply the sentimental wish. Few people would think they themselves are evil or bad. But the fact is that all people are evil. Aren't you evil when you slaughter the animals and eat their meat? When you slaughter them mercilessly regardless of their helpless cry, protest and fear, when you stab the shining knife into their chests or cut off their throats, you are not a kind person at all for the animals. There is no difference between eating meat and slaughtering animals. Meat eating is the bad behavior itself. Why Buddhists would not eat meat? They are just avoiding recommitting sins to enter the higher level life space after death. All those eating meat are not good. Maybe some people think that it is sensible to slaughter the pig and eat its meat because the pig is raised by themselves. But is it really sensible? Does raising the pig justify slaughtering it? The kids are raised by their parents. Can they be, too? Does it really make sense? Notes: I talk about the issue of meat eating from the perspective of all life is equal and becoming Buddha. I am not opposed to eating meat. In fact, I am a meat eater, too. So I am not a good person. Refusing to eat meat is what good people will do. We advocate vegetarianism. But if all the people refuse to eat meat and become Buddha, it will break the life cycle. Human beings have their duties to live on the earth. They are part of the life chain. Without this part, the life of many spaces will not have carried on and end in extinction. There will be no hell, thus no heaven. There will be no mortal world, thus no fairy land. If all the people do not eat meat, get married, have babies, just like Buddhists do, there will not be the future generations. This is not what the greatest creator wants. By the way, it is absolutely right and promising to believe in Buddhism. But is it also justifiable not to get married and have babies? Is it in line with the intention of the greatest creator? If we look at the history of Buddhism, we will find that each time when the Buddhism is prosperous, there would be a devastating attack on it. Why? Why such an ancient religion can only maintain its survival without being disseminated across the whole world? The problem does not lie in the Buddhism principles, but in the ways of self-improvement. Here we have to talk about the Falun Gong. As a Buddhahood exercise, Falun Gong is not wrong at all. There are 84,000 kinds of Buddhahood exercises, and Falun Gong is one of them. It is a pleasing thing that the people like Falun Gong as a Buddhahood exercise, which demonstrates that the Chinese people actively pursue goodness. Li Hongzhi has his merits because he has triggered people's desire for goodness. He, together with Zhang Hongbao, can be called the masters of spiritual nature. The problem is that it has relabeled the Buddhahood exercise as the Buddhism and upgraded Falun Gong into the so-called Falun Great Law, which is a violation of Buddhism. What is Buddhism? In the Diamond Sutra, Sakyamuni said, the so-called Buddhism is no Buddhism. Tathagata once said all laws are Buddhism. If some people say Tathagata has ever explained the Buddhism, they do not understand my words and are actually slandering the Buddha. Our minds should not abide by any laws. What Sakyamuni said has told us, to understand the Buddhism, we have to forsake the laws. The laws without laws are Buddhism and vice versa. Falun Gong is correct but the Falun Great Law is not. Because it focuses too much on the laws and its laws cannot be Buddhism at all. So what is the law? The law is the order or objective principle adopted by the greatest creator to govern the effective operation of the universe and life. The formula in physics, molecular formula in chemistry, the equation in math, the structural formula in biology, and the causal schema in life science are all laws. All laws are Buddhism and are designed and made by the greatest creator. When lecturing in LA of US in the afternoon of February 15, 2003, Master Li Hongzhi said, "So do you understand? All laws are made by me. All life in the prehistoric period was made by the laws without exception. The immeasurable and countless universe, space, and celestial bodies contain immeasurable and countless life, which are all generated by the laws. No life is positioned to comment on the laws. He has gone too far. The laws are created by the greatest creator. But Master Li said he has made the laws. So can we conclude that Li Hongzhi is the greatest creator or the greatest creator is Li Hongzhi? There is only one greatest creator in the world, either the One or Li Hongzhi. Let's presume Li Hongzhi is the greatest creator. Does Master Li have the 8 features of being unique and exclusive, amorphous, neutral, mysterious, impartial, merciful, supremely powerful and intelligent? Human beings can never overcome the greatest creator. If Master Li was really the greatest creator, would Falun Gong have experienced such disastrous difficulty? How could he claim himself as the greatest creator even when finding it difficult to survive on his own motherland? The greatest creator is amorphous, governing the whole universe and impossible to survive, with difficulty, on the earth in the form of human. And Master Li was born in the mortal world, which can be proved by his archives in the past decades. Can he be the greatest creator? The greatest creator has never talked with human beings directly. And think about the many lectures Master Li has given us. The greatest creator is mysterious. And we know about everything about Master Li. Can he be the greatest creator? The greatest creator is omniscient. Is Master Li omniscient too? He might not be able to answer the questions of physics, chemistry, math or biology for the senior high school students, not mention the questions raised by scientists. Can he be the greatest creator? Li Hongzhi is a master of spiritual nature, having his own distinctive understanding of the universe and life. But if he goes too far, he is sure to have problems. There are many wise men in the mortal world. Some live secluded, look like average, but they possess great capacity. Some people are slow, but they have superb wisdom. Some look normal and ignorant but they are fully aware of the laws of the universe and the meaning of life. They hide their capacity, just as Tao is, but they are able to make great achievements at the critical time. All in all, the greatest creator is impartial. The success or failure of an individual, organization, or nation all rely on the balance of the greatest creator. It is only by forsaking ourselves that we can see the impartiality of the greatest creator. If we attempt to understand the greatest creator by focusing on our own preference, success, failure, gain and loss, then we will never find this impartiality, or even a shadow of it.